Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I think it's time for another stash busting video. I have a ton of fabric left over from making a quilt, and I thought I would start this video with making another quilt with the leftovers, specifically a baby quilt. I'm going to use the same pattern that I used before, just a different size. I am using the Starling pattern. Just gonna quickly look up. Yeah, it's by Suzy Quilts. I think I made the twin size or the queen, I'm not entirely sure anymore, for my best friend's baby, with the idea that they could use it as a playmat and then he could still use it when he grew up. But since I'm making this for someone whose baby is about to be born and I don't know specifically what they need, but I do still want to gift them something, and they did mention needing a smaller kind of blanket or a quilt or a mat or something, I figured it would be a good size for them. I still have quite a few different colours here. I used the white as my background, these as all of the accent colours, so I have a pink, yellow, ochre colour, a greenish blue, a light blue, and then a reddish orange colour. And then the green was the backing, and also just a colour that I used. I'm hoping I still have enough for everything for the quilts. I think I do. I bought too much of everything, so I'm just going to look at what I need. I'm not even going to cut out fat quarters. I'm literally going to use my templates and cut out what I need. I do have to look what I need of every single thing, because right now these measurements that I've written on here, like, yeah, 3 colours times 3, 4 colours times 4, stuff like that, is related to the other signs that I made, so I have to be careful that I don't cut anything wrong, so I definitely have enough. So yeah, first stash busting project, making a baby quilt, and hopefully making it quite quickly because their baby is expected to be born somewhere this week, which is very exciting. So yeah, I hope I can cut most of my fabric today still, and then start making the blocks. I was actually really happy with my progress of the first day. Because the baby quilt is such a small size, everything went so much quicker, and I never got tired of a certain part of making the quilt, so the cutting went fast, the assembly of the blocks went pretty fast. So yeah, the next day I was already on to, I think, making my flying geese and putting everything together, and yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the smaller projects. I do think I was also a lot quicker at getting to this stage in the quilts just because I'd already done the same thing before. But yeah, at this point I was tracing my pattern that I wanted to quilt onto the top layer, and I was doing so just with some chalk I had. And I should remind myself to get a different coloured chalk because this is yellow and I've just had the issue that on all of the yellow bits was less visible. But yeah, very happy with where I got to this point, and I'm going to be quilting in this blue colour to finish it off. It is early in the morning. I'm still very sleepy. We also just put the dishwasher on, so if you hear that, I'm sorry. I wanted to update you on another stash busting project that I did actually mention, I think, in a previous video that I filmed. There's the dishwasher. So the next project that I am doing in this stash busting episode, I started on it already, is a sweater made from the wool that I spun myself. I had shown this, I think, in the Wool Diaries video. This is the wool, the merino, that I spun quite a while ago and never found a project for. And then I decided I wanted a sweater, a purple sweater, and I decided to pair it with these two mohair orchid silk. I keep forgetting or mixing them up. Anyway, these two other colours. So it's a really light lilac-y colour and this lovely hot pink. I think someone called it a hyacinth in a comment. I loved it. I should learn more colour names, honestly. But yeah, these three colours together have made, so far, this raglan sweater. I keep forgetting the pattern name. I'll pop it up on the screen. I got inspired by just the image of the sweater on the Ravelry page, and that's why I thought, like, I can make it with my purple wool, and then combining it with those two colours. As you can see, I've already gotten really far on this. I didn't want to film in advance just because I actually really wasn't sure if I would have enough yarn. So I just wanted to make sure that I did before filming. I don't know what I would have done if I had to like frog it all because I wouldn't have enough. But yeah, I actually finished the sleeves, the two sleeves, I think 3 days ago now. And that was my biggest concern, but this is all of the yarn that I still have. So I have a bit of this bigger ball left and then 3 of the smaller ones. The reason that I was doubting whether it would be enough and it would work out is because some of the yarn is spun a lot thicker, or like a heavier weight than some of the other. This is a lot lighter. I think that's because initially I wanted to weave something with it, and I remember thinking, I already wove a scarf with the purple, the thicker yarn originally, and I remember thinking I have to spin it a bit thinner and lighter if I want to make something lighter on my, yeah, anyway. I didn't do that. I made a sweater. And I was worried that the difference between the yarn weights would be very noticeable because I did the body with a heavier weight and I did both sleeves with the lighter. But honestly, I can feel it, like I can feel the difference myself, but visually it's not noticeable at all, which I'm very happy about. So I am happy to continue now on the rest of the body. I think I have probably, I'm just gonna finish this ball definitely, and then I'm gonna see what I still can do with the 3 leftovers. I don't need it to be too long, but the thing is, I do hope that it still grows a bit, because when I tried it on, the sleeves were just a bit tight because I decreased a lot, and on like the chest as well. It's definitely not an oversized sweater right now, but I do think if I block it, I can stretch it out a bit. But yeah, I am just gonna continue on knitting this so that it's just a bit longer, but I'm absolutely in love with the color. It's exactly what I wanted. It makes me so happy to see the mix of these 3 colors together. At first I was a bit worried when I did my swatch whether the light blue was just a bit too different, because if you look up close it just looks like a bit, yeah, I want to say disjointed. I don't know if that's the correct, or if that's what I mean even, but I think you can see what I mean. Like sometimes it pops out a bit more, but honestly from afar and like the total color that it's made, I just absolutely love it. So I'm very happy with this. I'm hoping to finish this soon so I can block it and wear it before it gets too hot still. Honestly, the mornings are very, very cold right now still, that I think I need a coat. Then I get to work, and then by lunchtime you definitely don't need the coat, and by the time I go home I'm sweating like crazy. So it's definitely like not the best time to make a thick sweater, but I definitely think I'll get wear out of it in the evenings and in the mornings. And then of course in autumn. I'm really obsessed with this. So yeah, hopefully gonna finish this soon. I do have some other projects with yarn as well. Again, I think I mentioned it in my last video. I will always have too much soft silk mohair or kid silk or whatever left over from a project. So from this sweater, I still have a ton of kid silk left over, mohair left over, and I will as well from this sweater. But again, I will figure it out. I have a few projects lined up with it. We'll see how it goes. So this is the sweater pre-block. It is, the sleeves are pretty tight, but I think I can stretch them out. They can go a bit longer hopefully, because they're a bit short right now, but again, I think I can fix that. And I'm happy with the length. Yeah, I was actually at this length a lot quicker than I thought I would be. And then all of a sudden it said to still decrease. I did do one decrease row less, and then I bound it off. But yeah, I'm really happy. I'm gonna block it right now so I can put it in the sun, and then it can dry the rest of the day, and then I might be able to wear it next week. So yeah, pray for me that these sleeves are gonna grow a bit. I do still have some yarn left over, so if after blocking I still find them a bit too tight and a bit too short, I can undo them and just make them a bit less tight, but we'll see. I am making really good progress on the quilt, but I am switching gears and working on a different sewing project because I realised that I am going to a wedding this weekend, and it's not that I have nothing to wear, but I would prefer to wear this project, if it turns out well, than anything else that I have in my closet. Which goes against everything that I've promised myself, to not work on projects last minute like this. I'm making an exception because this is a dress that I have had planned for more than a year now, because I bought this fabric I think a year and a half ago. It's this lovely green. It's slightly shiny. I don't actually know the exact composition, but I bought it at like an outlet of fabric sales. And yeah, I've been planning to make a dress from this for ages. I just have never gotten to it. Actually, I did get to it at a certain point, but something went wrong in my process and I had to get different materials. So yeah. Now what is the plan? I definitely have enough. I think I have more than 4 meters of this fabric. And what I want to do with it is shirred the top and then make a dress out of it. I am following a certain video that I found online, I've actually had it saved again for quite a while. I actually saved similar dresses on my PC as well, from different stores, so I knew it would be something that I would want to make. But I got inspired, I'm getting out my Instagram here, by what Abby Waugh's Instagram account, so Abby Isabella, and she made a shirred dress tutorial. I'll link it down below. And she based it on a dress that someone else wore, and I'm honestly just probably gonna follow her instructions. The only thing that I did do already is I took my own measurements. I think I measured the length that I wanted it to be as well, but I'm looking at it and I think it might be too long. And I did already cut out like a basic shape for the bodice part, just because she says to do it after you've shirred the fabric. I think I used a Sid Graham pattern that I liked to just copy out the basic lines of like the arms and the neck, just so I can easily gauge what I want it to be. Now, as you can see, I did start on this before, but my issue was not that the shirring wasn't working. I don't think this is good light to show you at all. The shirring was working. The issue is that I only had like a skin, like a nude color elastic, and the issue is that it was poking through the holes. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, if it will ever focus. Yeah, so I guess from afar it's not super visible, but yeah, it doesn't look how I wanted it to look. And I only had that elastic, so I am going back to the start. I'm taking this out and now trying it again with darker, it's black elastic, and I'm hoping that will work. We'll see. I've never actually shirred anything before this. I was happy with how it was working out. I think I just have to, yeah, switch a few things up, try again, and I thought I'd film it because this is kind of stash busting. I've had this fabric for ages. So let's get started. Just to clarify my time frame here, it's a Thursday evening, it's 8:30. I got back from work around, I think 7. I just had dinner. I'm gonna start on it now. I'm not gonna be working on it long because I'll probably get tired, and I just recovered from being ill. I have the Friday night as well after work, and then maybe the Saturday morning, maybe, because I also still have to make a dessert for that wedding. The wedding is the Saturday afternoon, so it's a very, very tight time frame. So it kind of depends on what I get done now, if I still feel up to finishing it, and if I might not just wear something in my closet anyway. I'm definitely gonna be making this dress, but it might not be ready for Saturday. We'll see. Honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna get started and stop talking. Okay, I have been working on this for about an hour now, and I'm very happy with the result so far. I shirred either the front or the back. They're the exact same over the top. Again, my apologies about the lighting. I just tried to steam it, but honestly my iron is so old and the steam function never really worked properly, so it's more wet than anything. It spit like a ton of water. I had the same issue with the piece that I was working on before, so I switched to this because this was dry. Yeah, I'm happy with how it's looking. I completely underestimated how much elastic thread this would take. I already used up a whole spool of 20 meters. So that kind of ruins my plans to finish the top tonight, because I'm very happy with what I did here, but I can't finish the back because I think I have maybe half a spool left in there. I have definitely not have enough to finish this, so I'm gonna have to get a new one tomorrow before I can continue, which isn't an issue. I have a sewing stall right by my work, so I can actually just pop in and get one or two maybe, to be sure, because now I'm paranoid that I just won't have enough. But yeah, I am happy with how this is looking. I think it will turn out well. I did the shirring up until a certain point, so from the neckline, which I think I will be bringing down. I think it'll be too tight like the way I made it now. But yeah, I did about 42 centimeters, just about, and then left about, let's have a look, another 10 centimeters at the bottom of this top. I think I'm gonna maybe fold it over that it kind of has a peplum going to the skirt. Not entirely sure of that yet. I might do that, or I might do it in a different way. But yes, I am happy with this. It is 20 to 10, and I was just considering still trying to make the skirt, but honestly, I think I am just going to stop. I was home later from work today. I will be home sooner tomorrow, so I think I might as well stop now and just, yeah, work on it tomorrow. I'm very happy to know that the top went really well. The first bit anyway, the front part. I will be able to do the second part a lot quicker because now I know what I'm doing. And the skirt is actually just going to be really simple. I was considering making pockets in it, but even that, maybe, well, even that, I can do pockets really quickly actually. So yeah, technically, I don't have too much work left, which is crazy to say for a dress I just started. I feel like the most difficult part of sewing is figuring it out, and that takes up like mostly like 75% of the whole project, and once you've figured it out it just goes so much easier, so then the sewing is only like 25% left. But yeah, I figured it out. That was the hard part. I'm gonna relax now and then go to bed. The next project that I'm technically stash busting is some more mohair, which is to no one's surprise at this point, but actually to fix something that needs fixing. I made this Epiphany, yeah, cardigan ages ago. I did make some adaptations when I was making it, like I didn't do the ruffle on the sleeves. I think I knit the sleeves a bit longer as well than the pattern said, because they are quite long, but I'm going to keep that way. But mostly the thing that I wanted to change was just making an extra set of ties on this cardigan, just because I'm noticing I'm not really wearing it that much, and I think I would actually wear it more if it just had an extra tie, and I do still have this yarn left over. So I did already make a scrunchie out of one, but I'm definitely going to have enough to make 2 more I-cord edges, ties, not edges, and then yeah, connect them like halfway down, I think. I was considering actually doing 3, but it's not that long of a cardigan, so I think I'll start with 2, see how I feel, and I can always add one on at the bottom if I change my mind. So that shouldn't take too long. It's just gonna be very satisfying and easy. So I'm gonna get started on that. It is a few days later, it's the weekend again, and I'm here to admit that I did not finish the green dress for the wedding. I honestly do think I could have. It's not hubris, I actually think I could have. But I actually found a different dress to wear, and then I figured I might as well just do that and make it easy on myself and relax in making this project properly. And since then, I've had a few thoughts and adaptations that I do want to make, so I'm happy that I did rush it. So what I'm still going to do is I'm going to finish the back with the elastic threads the same way that I did the front. I'm going to attach the front and the back, but I don't think that I'm going to attach the top to the skirt. I think I want to keep it separate so that I have two pieces to wear instead of one. And I think it's just going to be more versatile in my closet to have two pieces that then I can mix and match with other things than just the dress. So yeah, that's my plan right now. So I'm just going to keep on working on the top. Try to finish that maybe today. And then I can see how I want the skirt. I had seen on Pinterest a few fun ideas of actually definitely doing like an elastic and then ties as well, that you can have like two bows on your hips, which I really thought was cute. But other than that, I think it will be a pretty simple skirt. But yeah, that's the next step. First, I'm going to finish the top, have fun with that, and then we'll see. I'm hoping I can finish it this weekend still, because that would just be convenient for this video. I think I've been working on my Stashbusting projects for maybe 2 or 3 weeks now. And I've finished 2 and I'm still working on the 2 that I'm sewing. So yeah, definitely good progress. I've been enjoying it a lot, but I want to see some results with my sewing projects now. So let's get going. To give a bit more context on what I was doing here, I had actually finished the top, so I shirred the back and then attached the seams by using French seams, so on the shoulders and on the sides, and then I switched to working on the skirt. So I did end up trying to make some pockets, and here you can see me piecing together the skirt pieces to also do the pockets with French seams. I did still make a few adaptations later on the video, but that is how I pieced it together. I actually followed a Sid Graham video again, but using her Sondra skirt tutorial. I didn't follow that pattern, but I did use her instructions here on how to put in pockets. Okay, I just finished the green top and skirt. I'm actually really happy with it. I'm trying it on for the first time since finishing everything. I have a few thoughts, but yeah, I'll just quickly show it. So this is the top. I finished it so that the edge came out a bit, just a bit lower than my waist. And the skirt is finished as well, and you can see the ties here. I did them in a bow in this instance, but you can just tie them and let them hang loose. They're not that visible either, and I'm so happy with it. I'll try and insert a full body shot because I can't get it into frame like this. But yeah, it's actually really, really comfortable, which is amazing. It's exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna admit a mistake immediately. I made pockets, but did I account for the fact that I was French seaming everything? And that said pocket openings would go way too small? No. So I do have a pocket, but I can't even get my hand in there properly. So that's a bit of a shame. I'm probably going to fix that. The only good thing is there is a pocket, so if I want to keep a key in there, I can. And I think, let's have a look if my phone fits. That would be a bit embarrassing if it doesn't. Nope, yeah, my phone does actually fit. That's perfect. Honestly, I don't need to get my whole hand in there. As long as I can store things in the pockets, I'm good. So yeah, I'm actually so content with this. I do think I'll be fixing the neckline a bit because it feels a bit weird. But other than that, it's a huge success. I'm still considering, like, I can also just wear it if I'm wearing it as a one piece, or like as a dress combo. I can tuck in the top as well. And then it's more focused on the skirt, I guess, which is fun. I'm gonna try on the top with a pair of jeans now. Okay, so yeah, it's not that much different, of course, but this is how I would wear it with a pair of jeans. And I'm actually so happy I decided to split the two, because now I have two clothing items that will be way more versatile than if I didn't split it. So yeah, successful project. I'm very, very happy. I didn't finish it last week in a rush to wear to that event, and then I just took my time with it because I actually did enjoy working on it today and just finishing everything up in a neat way. But yeah, I'm gonna sit down, give final thoughts on all of the projects that I filmed for this video because it was actually quite a lot and recap where I am and yeah, just check in. Okay, let's recap. 4 projects in this stash busting video, and I'm gonna admit it took a lot longer than I thought it would. This is, by the way, the finished Peppa sweater. I was a bit too chilly to keep the top on without a sweater because the weather completely took a dive. So since I'm wearing it, quick recap on this. It didn't actually change that much in blocking, but I am very happy with the result. The only thing that I'm doubting is the sleeves. I'm always a sucker for like a slightly longer sleeve and a slightly less tight sleeve. As you can see, it is pretty snug still, even though I blocked it. I'm just gonna wear it like this for a while and then see how I feel because the body is honestly perfect. I have enough room there. It's just the sleeves and a slight preference issue maybe. So I'm gonna wait and see, wear it and judge later whether I still want to adapt the sleeves because I do think I have enough wool to make them a bit bigger. Yeah, that's a future issue. I also fixed my Epiphany cardigan. I just added the tie. I think it's going to be a lot more wearable now. That was such an easy and quick fix and it didn't really use up that much mohair, but it still was something that needed doing. So I'm just happy I got that done, yeah. The 2 sewing projects then, as I said, and as you just saw, I finished the green top and the skirt. I'm actually really happy I finally made this. I think it's going to be such a great addition to my wardrobe for this summer. The skirt is just going to be so versatile. The top as well. I'm really happy I decided to split them. I do think I probably should have been a bit more careful when making it. I'm really happy with the results, but there were a few steps along the way where I just realized like, oh yeah, this isn't how I wanted it and this isn't how I wanted it. For instance, I don't actually remember if I filmed it or not, but at some point with the skirt, I realized it totally wasn't as drapey as I wanted it. Like there wasn't enough fabric for it to fall the way I wanted it to fall. And I felt like I knew that was the case a lot sooner and I should have just stopped in my tracks and reassessed immediately. But I ended up pretty much almost finishing the skirt to then try it on to think, oh, but it'll be fine. And then realizing I didn't actually like it like that. And I ended up adding 2 more panels to make it a bit more floofy and swooshy. And I'm really happy with it. And then eventually, because I went back to correct my mistakes, I feel like I was a bit more mindful with finishing it up instead of doing it in a rush. So it's a good thing. The downside of this stash busting project is, well, I did stash bust quite a bit of fabric. I also still have quite a bit of fabric left. But the good news is it's actually stunning and I will definitely be able to find another project for it. I don't know if it really comes across in the camera, but this fabric has some kind of sheen to it and it just catches the light really prettily. So yeah, I'm definitely going to look into what I still want to make with the leftovers. I don't know just yet. Maybe a blouse or something still. Now my last sewing project is the Starling Quilt. I've decided not to finish it in this video just because I really want to take my time and do the quilting properly. I started on it last week and it just took me a long while just because I chose a certain pattern with the loops and it's just going to take a lot of work, which I don't mind. I refuse to rush myself to finish it. It's not that I mind that it's going to take a while, it's just that I really do want to make it look really good, and that won't happen if I rush myself and I rush my machine, because I have had some issues with my machine this project, and it's probably just completely my fault because I haven't been doing my upkeep properly. So I'm gonna take care of my machine, take it easy with that project, and I'll show you in a future video how it turned out. But yeah, you already saw how the topping was looking. I'll insert a shot here of how the quilting is going so you can get the feel for the final effect. So yeah, I just have the quilting and the binding to do, and yeah, I'm just enjoying it, and that's the whole goal, isn't it? So yeah, this is everything that I got done. I'm really proud of my work. I did take longer than I thought I would. I think I was gonna work on this video for like 2 weeks. A lot has happened, and it actually just took a month. Just because life gets busy. I always forget, like, spring comes around and the weather is good, and then all of a sudden you have thousands of plans and nothing actually goes to plan. And yeah, I don't mind. It's just something to think about in the future, because time management has proven to be one of my biggest working points in projects, and I think that's a very common thing, and it's also just not a bad thing. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this stash busting video. As I've proven, I've still got a ton of stash busting to do because I keep having fabric left over, I keep having yarn left over. So I'm just going to continue these episodes, and yeah, there's probably going to be a new one very soon. In the meantime, I will hopefully see you soon in a new video. Bye!